Hello. Hi. I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit late to my own live stream because I fell asleep. But hi. I hope you guys are happy to be writing with me. I don't have my co-host today, but unfortunately, she had some family stuff come up. But that is totally fine. Yes. So what I'm gonna do though is I'm about to make some coffee and start really working on I okay, so I'm still a little tired. So last week I was jumping right into like writing and I need to do some outlining still. So I've been working on my beat sheet and some character profile stuff, just really trying to obviously understand the characters and understand the story that I'm wanting to tell and really make sure that I'm a little bit more structured because I am like, I can't go into any stories just straight pantsing. I have to have, like, I don't do well with a full detailed outline because I still need to have some wiggle room with that. So what I like to do is I like to like just basically outline all the different beats of the story. And so that's what I'm going to be working on. So I'm not really going to be able to go through like word counts at the end of each sprint that we're going to do, but I can at least, you know, tell you how much progress I made. And I mean, who knows? Maybe if I do finish the beat sheet, which it shouldn't take me too long, I should be able to completely finish it during the stream, then we will have some more time to just like, I might be able to go back in and start doing some more actual writing for the project that I'm working on. But I see that there are a couple of you here, so thank you for joining me. Definitely leave a comment and let me know what you're going to be working on during these sprints. Sorry, I feel like I'm like such a mess because it's super hot in this room and the lighting's a little weird. So sorry about that, but it's been a weird day. I woke up and like the minute my kids woke up, they were just like, my kids were on fire today, okay? Like they were just like, we are not going to behave today. We are going to make our parents crazy today. Like they must have plotted for that. And then I was in their room because they've made like this massive mess and I'm refusing to help them clean it because they are old enough to clean their own room. So that was my plan for the day was I was going to work on my beat sheet and just give them the death stare all day. Like, I don't care if it takes them an hour, if it takes them 5 hours, they're cleaning this room by themselves. And then I got this message on Instagram from, I've talked about this before. It's Stage 32. It's interesting. It's like this social, almost like it's like a social network, just primarily for like screenwriters and a way for people to meet other people in the screenwriting, film producing kind of space. But then they also will do like services, and that's where I was able to pitch that manager a few months back. So I've been on their website for a while. I've used some of the script services. I did the pitch session, which was amazing. I'm going to talk about that more another time, but I've never done their like paid membership thing that they have. But I posted something about them recently on Instagram. So I actually got a message from someone. Like there was no name. It was just Stage 32. Just telling me that they have this webcast happening in 20 minutes. And the owner of the company is going to be there and the director of script services. And the cool thing about these people is not only are these just people that own a company, but they are also writers and screenwriters and producers. And they have obviously knowledge in the business and they're actively producing their own projects as well. So they've got so much information. Anybody could have joined. It wasn't like I'm special that they like sent me this thing. But it was cool because I never saw the post that they put on there that said like, if you email this dude, you'll get access for a month of their paid membership and you can go to this webcast. But it was just kind of cool that they like sent me essentially a message saying, you know, if you want to do this, it starts in 20 minutes. So I threw my husband the kids and I came in here for like 2.5 hours, you guys. But it was really, really great. And I learned so much. I had like 3 pages worth of notes. It was definitely worth it. So that was my day. So I didn't get anything done. the kids' room still is a mess. So tomorrow I will be standing there giving them the death stare. And they keep trying to get me to do it or help me. You help me put my toys away. No. And I told them that they have 1 hour tomorrow. And if any toys that aren't put away, mommy's throwing away, which means I'm going to put them in a bag and hide them in the garage because I'm not that mean to throw the toys away. But anywho, so yeah, I see that there are a couple of people here, but nobody's leaving comments. So I think we should just jump into some writing sprints then. That's the awkward thing when you don't have a co-host is you're like, I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not talking to myself because I can see you on here. So I think maybe that means we should just jump right into writing. I usually like going with 20-minute sprints. So if you want to go longer or shorter, leave a comment and then we will just jump right into being productive. Because if you were here last week, I had my friend Rachel on here. I love her. She's wonderful. Her and I, she lives in my hometown and we have some mutual friends. We've been talking like for about a month, but we've never chatted live together like that before. And I got the great idea that I was like, let's drink some wine and do some writing. I don't drink. I drink maybe a couple times a year and maybe a glass or two of wine. I did not expect to down the entire bottle, get completely wasted, only do one sprint, and decide to private that video the next day. So if you happen to be here last week, thank you, and I'm sorry. But there will be no wine today. We're just going to be drinking my normal massive amounts of caffeine and actually being very productive. That's the plan. So yeah, let's just go ahead and pop in. Like I'm just going to pop up a thing. We're going to end it right at 11 and see how much work we have to do. If you see my screen go black for a minute, it's fine. I just have to find what I did with the beat sheet because I started because I'm super not prepared for today. I fell asleep. I was going to start this at 9 and I fell asleep. So it had been a very busy day today. So I have to find the work that I did and actually make said coffee so that I can stay awake and be super productive with you. So let's go ahead and get started and we will stop at 11 and see how we did. Okay, so I did not do very much during that entire sprint. I went to go make my coffee and realized I'm out of my little coffee pods. And so I was like, it's fine. I'll just brew the water like in a cup and then I'll just pour it into my French press. And then I realized my French press is downstairs. So then I had a panic minute because I can't not have coffee. And then I remembered I had my pour over coffee thing. But it's been a very, very long time since I've used this, and I'm not sure if this is what it's supposed to look like, and I'm a little scared to drink this. So I'm going to finish pouring the rest of the water in here while we chat for a minute, and then wish me luck. So, yeah. How did you guys do? I managed to find my beat sheet, which I did get a message from my bestie because she's watching it and she has no idea what I'm talking about. So this is what it is. This is the Save the Cat beat sheet, which my book is over there. I'll grab it maybe during the next one. But it's Save the Cat, writes a novel. And I actually found on the author Jessica Brody's website, you can actually download, like, because I didn't feel like going through the whole book and like writing them all down, but she actually has like the beat sheet thing all ready to go, where she has like a thing you can download and it just like breaks down the explanation of what each of the beats are. So basically, if you have not read Save the Cat Writes a Novel, it's basically, so the first version of this book was for screenwriting, and it's somebody, I forget his name. He wrote a book called Save the Cat. And the whole thing is like, if you have a really awful character, but you want people to relate to him, make him save a cat, because, then he's done something that people can relate to, or something similar to saving a cat. And then Jessica Brody was like, I bet you that would work for novels as well, because it's basically saying that like every story essentially all can be broken down to have the same 15 beats in every story, and it's just a way of breaking down your novel. So starts like opening image, setup, catalyst, debate. I mean, I'm skipping some, but then it just kind of gives you also an estimate of where you should be going into Act 2 would be somewhere around 20%. Midpoints at 50, but what do you do in between 20 and 50? That would be fun and games. And then my favorite parts are, like the ending. This is where like everything gets crazy, so you've got your all is lost and your dark night of the soul moment. Then you break into 3 at 80%. You've got your finale between 80 to 100 and your final image. So there's 15 beats basically. And this is the way that I like to structure my stories, because this works for me. It's enough of an outline to keep me in line, because if I don't have something, I will go completely off the rails and not remember what I'm supposed to be writing. But this is really great. I will drop a link if I can find it on my computer, where I actually went to where she like downloaded, or where you can go and download this, because it's basically like a Cliff Notes version of her entire novel. So it goes through just the explanation of the beats. There's a few different stories where she gives descriptions of what the beats are, and then a blank one for you to fill out. So that's what I'm filling out right now. And then when I started talking in the middle of it, I was sending my friend a voice message asking her what she thought about something. And she messages me, she's like, I can't hear you. You're not supposed to hear me right now. So anyways, so that is basically all I did. I'm really scared to drink this coffee. Water left in here, and I'm really terrified to drink this coffee, because it's been a long time since I made pour over coffee, and I don't know if it's supposed to look like poop or not, because that's what I feel like it looks like. It looks very gross. So send me good vibes, because I'm very scared right now, and I think I'm also supposed to pour this a lot slower than I did, and that's the whole point. Is you're supposed to like slowly drip your water over it and not just drop the whole thing in 30 seconds. So this is kind of where I'm at right now, because I'd already started the intro to it, but then I started going through the beats, and I was like, well, maybe I need a little bit more, because one of the things is like the theme stated, right? I have my theme. I know what my theme stated is going to be, but also typically it's not the main character that's saying that. It's somebody saying that to her. So I was like, well, maybe I need a little bit more of a lead in instead of just jumping right into these letters that she's writing, because the way I have it is that kind of beginning part was just a letter and her just explaining what she's doing. And I feel like maybe it would be a little bit more beneficial if I wrote it instead of like just her jumping right into writing a letter, if I wrote it more like you see her going through something and then going down and starting to write the letter or something like that. So that's what I'm kind of toying with right now, is whether or not I want to keep it as I originally have it right now, or if I want to go back and show her, kind of more like third person, show her like, Annabelle is doing this, da, da, da. And then she starts the letters, and then from there all you get is her letters, or if I want to just keep it how I have it, where she just jumps right in and writes letters. So I don't know what you guys think. This is the problem with wanting to like to actually plot out your story ahead of time, is that then I'm spending time just like second guessing everything. So that's what I'm probably going to do. Since there's not really any chatting happening right now, I think we'll just jump right into a more productive sprint next. But first, let's see what's going on with this coffee. I'm scared. I don't know what it looks like. Oh, that's crazy. Look, I don't know if you can see the thickness. That's me, like in the reflection. That's funny. That's very funny. Okay. I'm scared. Crazy. It's very hot too, because you're supposed to have these. Okay. As I'm pouring it into the cup, it doesn't look like. No, it still looks really gross. Oh god, I'm so scared. Okay. Let's just try this. Oh, actually, that tastes pretty good. Okay, it just looks really gross, but it tastes really good. Okay, we're good. 2 thumbs up. Okay. I'm going to. I don't know what to do. I'm going to start the next sprint, but I just feel like I can't keep outlining if I don't know what I'm doing with the beginning scenes, and that's not fun. Okay, anywho, let's just go ahead and start another sprint, and I will just sit here and talk to myself. Oh, but one thing I do want to share with you guys, I'm going to, because I can't play my music, and I know not everybody likes to listen to music, but I'm going to start dropping little like links to some of the songs that I'm listening to, because I do like listening to music when I'm writing, and also I'm just like outlining, so of course I can listen to music. So I'm going to find the songs that I'm listening to on like YouTube, and then I'm just going to be dropping them into the comments, and you can just like, don't just click on it because it'll make you leave the stream. But if you like, go to the side and make it open in a new tab or something, you can listen to the same music that I am. And it's almost like we're actually together. So this is the first song that I know for sure I'm going to listen to. I love this one. It is Almost Lover by Fine Frenzy. I love this song. This has definitely been on like repeat for a long time. And the next one I know is the next one that's on my playlist is this one. This song's really good. It's called Jar of Hearts. This is another really good one. So you guys should go into a new tab. Don't click on it because you'll leave my stream and that'll make me sad. But if you like listening to music while you write, these are a couple of songs that I really like. All right, so let's go ahead and start another one, and we will end right at 11:30. There we go. Okay, so this was actually pretty good. So I actually got quite a bit done. Have you guys liked, if you listen to some of the music that I'm listening to, I dropped, all the stuff I'm listening to. These are some of my favorite songs and ones I listen to probably about 30 times a day. So, yes. Here's the problem is that this story is broken up into 6 different parts. So I almost feel like this is really hard because the way I envision it is that every different kind of story within the larger story will still follow the same structure, right? So it's still going to send us through and get more dramatic or whatnot as time goes on, right? So it starts with, so basically, if you don't know anything about what I'm writing, it's called The Thought of Annabelle. It's a story that's going to be released on Kindle, but essentially it's about a woman trapped in a really toxic relationship, and she starts writing. And the way that I have it is actually she gets the idea of writing letters from her therapist, because she's told, write a journal, write your feelings, write your thoughts, kind of go back and figure out what the common thread, because she says she's always attracted bad relationships. Well, then why do you think that is? What's the common thread, obviously, other than just you, that might be causing you to attract these things, right? And so she suggests that she writes a journal, and she's not really good at journaling because sometimes that can be hard. Like, I personally suck at journaling. Like, I just can't do it because it feels weird just like sitting down and writing my thoughts in a book. I'm a writer, but I just can't, I can't write my thoughts to myself, right? And so her therapist says, some people find it's easier to imagine themselves writing to other people. That's where the whole, that's why I say it's to all the boys I've loved before meets Big Little Lies, because it's a dark romance because there's a lot of really dark crap in it. But so she starts going through these different relationships that she's had over the course of time. So it starts with there's this one story that I call it the Good J, and nobody has names, right? Like, no boyfriends have names; they're all just letters. So there's the Good J and W. They're kind of wrapped all in together, and then it goes to then another relationship after that, and every one just gets more intense, right? And so there's four. So there's four, and then her husband. So there's 5 relationships basically that she's going to be writing about, and then the 6th part is just the wrap up, right? So the way that I've envisioned it is that it's going to still follow the main 15 beats, but at the same time, I also feel like each story is almost their own set of beats. I'm like, do I need to redo this basically 5 different times? So it's been a bit difficult. This is the first time I've ever tried to do a beat sheet where I feel like I'm actually jumping around. And at one point I was getting really stuck, where I'm like, well, what would the catalyst be? Because and let's go ahead. Oh, hi, Kirsty. I'm so happy. I always miss you. Love you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. It's gonna be what is it, 6:00 where you are? 6 in the morning. And you don't even have to ask. I always miss you. Thank you. Okay, so the Save the Cat here. Let me actually see if I can. Let me see if I can share this with you. Oh, cool. I can pick which one I want. I like this. Okay, share. Am I sharing? Can you see this? Can you see this? Okay, yes. Okay, cool. Oh, you got some comments. Let's do these first. Hi. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for hanging out today. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it. I think it's interesting. It's very interesting. I've never written for Kindle, so my idea is basically write it, release each chapter on Kindle, maybe leave it up there for a little bit, and then pull it, reformat it, and then actually self-publish it or something. It's 7:30 in the morning. Okay, see, I'm so bad with time zones. All I know is that if it's late at night for me, you should be sleeping. Okay, so let me show you guys. So this is Save the Cat. So if you've never read the Save the Cat book, this is basically, you can actually go to her website without even reading her entire book and get the gist of it. But I still recommend the book. I think it's fantastic because she goes into a lot of different books and stories. And I think she even does movies or something. And she kind of really breaks down all the different beats and really gives a lot of examples. And it goes into more detail about different types of stories and kind of genres and stuff. But this is just a really rough explanation. And so you can just go to her website and download her starter kit. And then, so this is where I got kind of stuck, was I'm like, okay, so what would the catalyst be? Because if I'm doing multiple different parts, like the setup, all of this is all basically things she's explaining in the first letter that she writes, where she's just like, hey, I'm writing to you, but I'm not really writing to you, but it's weird because I'm writing to you. And so it's really just her internal dialogue of her just kind of going through this mind fuck of her own, where she's like, why am I doing this? And why is this going to help me? And explaining really to the reader what's going to be happening. And then, like, I know that the theme stated that is going to be the therapist explaining to her why she needs to like write these letters. And then the setup, obviously, she's explaining what's going on. And then the catalyst, I feel like maybe like the life-changing event is not really a life-changing event though, because like she's going back in time. And so I feel like every story is going to have a catalyst and a debate and kind of a little bit of a explanation of all of these different things. One second. Okay, so yeah, so this is why I'm just kind of struggling going through the outline of everything. So this is where I got a little stuck, was catalyst and debate. So I just kind of opened this up, so I was just gonna read it during the next sprint and figure out where some of this goes. And that's why I started working backwards though. And I figured, okay, I know the final image, I know exactly how it's gonna end. I know the finale is basically all of this is going to be the ending, you know, what happens at the end of all of this, what has she learned and where is her life now. So it's going to be showing after all of these things have broken out. The break into 3, this is really more, this is like the husband, right? This is Gordon. And then Dark Night of the Soul, I know what that is. I know what the All Is Lost is. Like, I know what these parts are, and these are all part of the last relationship. And so I can kind of like go back and forth this way, but I'm just kind of, I'm struggling a little bit. So I don't know what you guys think in terms of if you have any suggestions in a story like this, what you think I should do. Leave a comment if you have read Save the Cat, or if you use the beat sheets. Definitely let me know, what you think in terms of how I should be using this. So oh, good. I'm so sorry. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Last week was interesting. Let's just say if you weren't here or you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, last week I had a co-host. She was going to be here today, but she couldn't make it. And I had the bright idea of saying, let's drink wine and write. And that ended up being only one stream and a lot of wine. And the next day I privated the entire stream. So it will never be seen again. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just got a message from my best friend and it really made me laugh. Sorry. Anyways, that's hilarious. I know she was in here earlier. So if you're still in here, I saw your message and that makes me laugh a lot. And I do agree. Anyways, so yeah, let's go ahead. Since there are more people here, I want to know, did you get a chance to write in the last sprint? How did you do? What are you working on? Leave all of that in the comments, but let's go ahead and start what'll probably, I'm assuming, will end up being like our last sprint. Yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into like one last sprint, and then it's going to be like midnight, and I got to clean my kitchen and probably find something to eat. So And I'm surprised. Okay, if you were watching when I was struggling with my pour over coffee and trying to figure out if it was disgusting or good, it's actually very good. Very, very good. Oh, I have a suggestion. I love your screen name, by the way. I love it. You're very smart. Oh my god, you're a genius because that is literally like that is it. Because like the whole thing is like it's a very toxic thing, and and I do actually have that as an idea of something where she's going to be explaining it. You are a genius. Thank you. See, this is why I like live streams because what did people do before the internet and before the internet was so fast that we could and like cameras where we could just like all be together? They would just struggle by themselves and be miserable and lonely. So thank you. Oh my God, you're so smart. Thank you so much. Oh, love you forever. Thank you so much. Okay, you're so smart. Okay, and then the debate that'll jump me. That's so perfect because that actually fits exactly with starting the kind of debate beat fits a little bit and lot more in line with the first kind of thing. Oh my god, I'm so excited now. Okay, yes, let's go ahead and do one more sprint and we'll start from now and it'll end. Well, for me, it's midnight because I'm in the west on the west coast. Let me know where you guys are. I know Kirsty is in the UK and I think you live in England, right? Or am I a jerk and forget where you live? I know Kirsty's in the UK. I don't know where Jordan lives, and I don't know where you live. And I know where my Betsy lives because she's like 10 minutes down the road. So, I'm so excited. Thank you. Okay, last sprint. Let's go. Well, that's an unpleasant way to end the last sprint. So if you weren't here at the beginning, struggling with my coffee, I just learned / remembered that the last drink of pour over coffee is a lot of grounds and it's disgusting. So that's really upsetting because it was really tasty coffee. Oh, and yes, I did spill and drink all over myself. So how did you guys do on your last sprint? I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if you clicked on the links and listened to any of the songs, but I think I'm going to be doing that with more of my sprints, especially when it's just myself. But I think maybe next time I'll be more prepared because I came up with this idea at the last second and maybe like think of what I want to listen to and just like make like a mini playlist that'll go through the whole thing. Yeah, I hope you like that. That's some of the songs that I listen to on my Reddit playlist that are just on constant repeat basically every day of my life because I like these songs. So, there we go. So, how did you guys do if you were writing? I finished. So, I actually finished with some time left, and I was like, well, I told them we were going to go till midnight. So, let's just go till midnight. And I just did nothing. I changed it up a little bit from what Great Fry's idea was, but it really your idea when I wrote it down, I was like, oh, that's so great. And then it just kind of sparked the rest of the idea that I had. So I changed it because again, like everything's kind of have their own little beats, but I realized I was thinking too much. And what I needed to do is just try to think over the course of the longer story. I already have certain plot points in mind for each individual story. And so just which of those ideas that I already have are things that I know are going to happen in each mini story, and where does that fit in the overall timeline of the novel and all of the beats. And as soon as I did that, it was so easy. It was so easy because, and again, kind of working backwards, I think helped too, which is not something I've ever done in an outline or a beat sheet, is just like starting from the back and moving forward. I kind of did that at the beginning and then the end, and then I just kind of saw how they merged together in the middle, and it makes perfect sense. Like this is so perfect. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Now I have to, what I'm going to do tomorrow, or today I'm going to reprint them, and then tomorrow when I'm staring at my kids, giving them the death stare and making them clean their room, I'm going to go through, and I don't think that every single story necessarily needs all the beats, but I don't know if I should do beat sheets or just look up another different story structure, because it's more like a bunch of individual, like almost short stories, but then they connect all together. Whatever. I explained that already, but I don't know. I'm just going to play around and see if I need to kind of just plot them out or use a different story structure idea template or something, or beats or something. I'm going to figure something out, and I'm going to kind of plot out all of the different stories that go into it. But now I know the catalyst, and it makes such sense. Like the catalyst is when she meets this other character, and then the B story is when the second story starts, and it just makes so much sense. I'm so happy. Oh, I know. It's the greatest thing. It's so great. Like having community is so wonderful. I love it. Exactly. Yeah. Like I was so stuck. I've been on this live stream since 10:30, and I got like nothing done, and then you popped in and gave me an idea, and then I wrote the whole thing in one small little sprint that we did. That's one thing that was so great. I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but I was talking about earlier today. I got totally random at the last second. I ended up going to this like webcast for screenwriters from this company that I signed up for, and it was really great. And like they gave a lot of really great knowledge and information about screenwriting and all this stuff, but the conversation also ended up gearing towards a lot about community and how great it is to have a writing community and to have friends you can meet and people that you can be supported by, and how different it used to be before social media. But like Twitter's an awful place to go. Like I haven't even been on my Twitter in like 2 years. Facebook is not that great. I have one, but I don't really scroll. I just post stuff. But like these can be such crappy places sometimes to like meet, or like just for mental health reasons. Like it just can be so negative, but it's still great to have the community. And so it's great when you can find people that you can kind of band together and support one another and help each other, because it's not competition. And especially more in this space versus the screenwriting space, it's even more loving, I feel like, because anybody can write a book and then, try to get it published or self-published or something like that. Screenwriting is a little bit trickier because there's so many people that want to make movies and might want to read your script. So it is a little bit more competitive, but it's still great to have that community. And I love too, and live streams, because it's like we're all sitting together in my messy room, helping me write. So thank you guys. I had a lot of coffee. Well, I had 1 cup of coffee, but I had more coffee this morning and earlier today. So I'm a little wired at midnight. Oh, let's see. What's this? Oh, I like that. Oh, they share they give their identities? That's interesting. Isn't that like a big superhero no? You're like not supposed to reveal your identity. I don't know. My kids are obsessed with this show on Nickelodeon, Henry Danger. They're obsessed with this show. And it's about a kid superhero. And I will admit, I really, really like watching this show too, because it's adorable. But it's bad to share your identity, because then all the villains know who you and your family are, and they can come be villainous after your family. So I am going to, but that's a very interesting story. I really like that, Jordan. It's after midnight where I am on Great Pride. It's late for you. So I know I'm going to go eat some food and go to bed. I really hope that you get some sleep soon. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did, so we can grow this community and hang out all the time. I'm going to be doing these live streams what is today? Today's Friday. Well, now it's Saturday, but every Friday night. I don't know what time I should start them, because I almost feel like I get more people popping in the later, like during the last couple sprints. So let me know, what you guys think about the time. I was starting them around 9. 10 works for me. Going like 10 to midnight is great. So if it's easier for people to hang out later at night, I can do that. But I will be doing these every Friday. Sometimes I'll have a guest, sometimes I won't. But we'll get these stories written. So please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate all of you. And seriously, Great Pride, you are amazing. Thank you. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.